trying to remember things. My wife would ask me to get something out of the kitchen, and you know, 5 minutes later, honey, can you give me a fork? I'm like, after doing HBOT here at Panacea, like I was back to doing 5 things at once and remembering 5 moves ahead the way I usually operate mentally. Like the soccer player Ronaldo, he's got one of these in his house. Immediately, nothing noticeable, but after those 7 treatments, I could start getting more things done. I would stop forgetting things at work and get back to an 8-hour workday where before I was taking me 10, 12 hours to pull everything together for doing the work that I do in IT. Exercise. I would have, I could go on light walks for long periods of time, but I couldn't do anything intensive or calisthenics. I guess there's this thing playing in the back of my mind is like, how is this going to get worse? And if it does get worse, what is life going to look like? Because I need my mental faculties to work, and they got to be on top of them, like firing on all pistons. And without that, I was like, now what? Even where I'm at, I wouldn't be able to do hard physical labor with the chronic fatigue. But with the brain fog, that's like the icing on the cake. So it was very, very tough to struggle with that battle in my mind. I guess speed, because I've heard from different sources that, well, it's going to take you 60 treatments in 3 months. And I would imagine for some people with traumatic brain injury, that's going to be the course of action. But I didn't expect getting to where I am at so quickly. I mean, it was a matter of 2 weeks. And I know my cases are mild compared to a lot of folks that come through the doors, but for the ones that are going to come for 15, 20 treatments, I don't think you could do that and not see a difference, a dramatic difference. Well, we were here in Cyprus for long COVID at the apheresis clinic. My wife had already booked an appointment to go there, and we had did a lot of research back in the States even before with hyperbaric oxygen. And when the clinic over there had started asking me questions, what was your experience? Do you have long COVID too? Because I had viral persistence in my immune cells and my exosomes. And I was like, if I do, it's kind of mild, but I got COVID twice. And the second time I got it, I never really came back 100%. I did have brain fog, and chronic fatigue, and call it a mild level, but I never came back 100%. I was maybe back to 80, and when I had looked at different types of options, and then HBOT kind of landed as one of those options to help it, my wife found some research while we were here about this clinic in Israel that has another big place in Florida and in Dubai, and about the way that they do hyperbaric oxygen. And I was like, well, we got a clinic right next to the clinic. Let's go here first and, let's see what happens. And so that's how we found ourselves at Panacea. I did. I was nursing a surgical wound close to my groin, and when I first booked the appointment, I had asked the staff, I might need to keep my legs up. Is that possible? And thankfully, the chamber was big enough to do that. I wasn't sure because getting up and sitting down, the act of doing that was still very painful and tender. So I did that the first time, and I didn't notice anything immediate the first time, but after some repeated treatments, there were very rapid improvements. I had done an IV treatment with some vitamins, some vitamin C, some glutathione, and that brought me back a little bit, but I still wasn't 100%. So I did 7 treatments with HBOT, and by the 7th, my brain fog was gone. My energy was back where it was before I got COVID, and I could sit down and stand up without any problems and that was the one thing I wasn't expecting, that really rapid healing power after having surgery. Like, I was expecting a little bit of difference, but I figured time's going to do the rest. But HBOT really made a difference, and that was a matter of like 2 weeks. And the doctor had told me it's going to be like that for you you're going to feel tenderness for like 2 months. I'm like, 2 months, but by 2 weeks I was right back where I was beforehand. Absolutely super. Everybody here is super helpful. One of the sad things that's happened in the United States is that bedside manner has kind of fallen off the radar completely, and coming here, everybody that you interact with, you feel cared for, and you feel like they care about you and that you're making a difference, that they want to make a difference for you. Absolutely. There's plenty of places that you can do HBOT in the States, but a lot of them are incredibly pricey, and I looked at a few of them. They don't do the actual, at least here in Panacea and Cyprus, they model it after that clinic that's doing the cutting edge research in Israel, where that hypoxic paradox, just Google that if you want to learn more about HBOT, and you'll see how that works. And I think that's the game changer. You're not going to find that everywhere else. And if you've got brain fog from either long COVID, any kind of dysautonomia, or traumatic brain injury, this is the first place I'd come. As long as you can get on a plane, I know a lot of people that's not an option for them, but if they can, you'll have a little bit of extra time, but you're still going to save money, because the price of airfare in a hotel with what's available here is still going to be cheaper than doing the equivalent in your hometown. If you're in Larnaca and you just want a little performance kick, come to Panacea.